Welcome back to Her Launch Story. Today we are going to be talking about businesses that are backed, bootstrapped by their founders. We're also going to be very open and transparent with regards to how we started our business.
Yes, so that's why we've got our phones, because we want to be very specific with you about how we did it. So ultimately, we both put in £1,000
Yes.
into the bank account to be able to start the business. We didn't start with hundreds of thousands or even tens of thousands.
No.
It was £1,000.
Yeah.
And we were very careful about what we spent that money on, weren't we? So if obviously there's costs before you even start trading.
Yes.
So things like insurances.
Yep. Those are like a prerequisite to having a business. It's really, really important to be fully insured, of course.
Yes. And what that insurance is depends on the business. So I needed professional indemnity and I needed employer's liability because I had a team, whereas you didn't need employer's liability, did you?
No.
But you did go for directors and officers. Insurance.
Yes, because the one doesn't come with both of them, so you had to purchase them separately. But yes, those two were very, very important for us to get. I think also something that we did was free bank account.
Yes.
So there were no costs involved at all to open that bank account, and that was really, really important as well in managing costs. And where possible, we obviously used 30-day trials on some of it. Insurance was really, really important. Tech was another, where we knew that we needed laptops, we needed phone contracts, and we needed Office 365. Laptops were secondhand. Office 365 we used 30-day trial, and then we went into the paid version. And phones, I used my personal phone, and I know you used your personal phone and purchased a SIM card.
Yes, so I had a second number because I didn't want my personal number being associated with the business. But again, it was £8 a month. It wasn't extortionate. So really to manage those costs. But just going back to, so started with £1,000. The first thing we paid for was insurance. Second thing we paid for was laptop.
Yes.
So laptop, we both shopped around. And then we found the site that offers second-hand laptops.
So they refurbished laptops.
Refurbished, but corporate ones, weren't they? So we knew that they were good for business. So that's what we used. And we've upgraded now. But at the time, that was fun.
Didn't have a problem. It was, we just needed to get the business off, and we purchased things that were fundamental for the beginning stage. It wasn't, there were lots of things that would have been nice to have, but we were very strategic in how we spent the money in the beginning. And then over the months, as the revenue came in, then we upgraded certain things to make it a bit more comfortable for us.
What I will say, and I think is something that people should be aware of, is that when you start a business, when you register it on Companies House, you will get so much post. And people contacting you, asking you to set up a business account or a trade account, sign up for recurring monthly fees for whatever it is they're selling. You don't need all that stuff. And you can get caught out with it.
100%. You hear of those horror stories where people just end up getting themselves in so much debt because they think in order to have a fully functioning, successful business, you need to have it all. And it's really not the case. You can get away with just having the bare minimum in the first couple of months whilst you growing the business.
And you had it, didn't you? You had a letter that looked like it was from Companies House or something that was really sneaky.
And I mean, I'd sent it to you and said, wait, hold on, did you get this, or is this just I got it? And you're right. I mean, the first probably 3 months, it's like it was triggered that I had started a new business, or I'd registered on Companies House. I just got flooded with like letters through my mailbox. And you can get distracted by the shiny things. And everyone says that, is that the shininess of things can get caught.
I mean, I almost did, because I was ready to sign up to a tech account and have brand new laptops and stuff like that. And I thought, I don't even know that I'm going to make any money yet. Why am I signing myself up to a guaranteed outgoing bill every month when I don't know that I'm actually going to get the back, like you get the return.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did spend the money on or outsourced very quickly was an accountant.
Yes.
And I know you did the same. I mean, we've got the same accountant.
Yes. Yes.
And they have been really helpful. And yes, it's money and it's something that you can do yourself. So if you've got the brain where you've got good attention to detail and you can understand that kind of thing, then that is also something you can do yourself and save money there. That's not me.
No, and I think even, for me, I have to agree with you. I just don't want to mess with the tax man. You know what I mean? I don't want, you can make one mistake and it can really cost you. And for me, again, that was like a prerequisite. If I'm going to start a company, that's great, but there are certain things I really wanted, and an accountant was one of them. Also because there's VAT submissions, there's annual returns, there's salaries, etc., etc. So it's that peace of mind for me, to be honest, as well.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing I paid for right from day one, was payroll.
Yes.
Because again, it's just not something that I know of. It's getting someone's salary wrong is awful.
Yes.
And it has an impact on their lives as well as mine. So I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. And with the accountant, I will say that there are a lot of options out there, where for us, full transparency again, we only pay on that submission. So it's not a monthly debit order, a monthly fee. It's when they do something for us, we pay for that service, and they've already sent us how much each item will cost. So we know what the costs are coming up, but it's not a monthly thing.
No. And actually, that was the third accountant I spoke to before I signed up with them, because all of the others were saying to me, you have to sign into a retainer.
Yes.
It was a monthly fee or an annual fee. And they were the first accountant that said to me, absolutely not. No, we work with small businesses. You pay us for what we do.
Yes. And then I naturally went with them is because obviously you recommended them and you had been with them a couple of months. So that was really great. I think some of the other things that we were spent money on is obviously we managed our social media for a while. So we did purchase Canva because that was an element that was just helping us in terms of like the design, and that was a really, really, we had to create brand exposure. So I think that was a good investment for us.
Yeah. And it was still a saving because we weren't paying marketing experts or paying someone to do our social media and stuff. So whilst it was a cost, it was minimal. I think Canva's £13 a month?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was minimal, and actually it was saving us a lot of time and effort of either creating something from scratch on, I don't even know what you'd create it on if you didn't have Canva.
Yeah.
Or paying someone.
Indeed.
So we're still saving costs there.
I think one of the other things that I know we both spent money on was LinkedIn. So I did purchase obviously the Sales Navigator, and that was just an opportunity for me to target my market. So that also saved me some time, which then helped me reach my audience in a quicker way.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do it. These are just some of the things that where we spend our money that we want to be open and honest about.
But also LinkedIn is one of those things where you get a month free trial as well.
Yes.
We loved those free trials.
Yes, we did that with Office 365, LinkedIn. I actually think with LinkedIn, you and I boosted each other so we could get 2 months or something. Yeah. We did something like that. I don't think Canva came with a 3-month trial, but that was a good one.
But there is a free version.
Yes.
So we worked off the free version for a little while.
Yes, that's true. That is very true. I think I worked off the free version for about 2 months and then purchased it. What were some of the other things that we...
Zoom. So you still work off of the free version of Zoom.
So I can only have 40-minute long meetings.
Our conversations just get cut.
And sometimes at like the worst moments. Although I will say I don't use Zoom for my clients. I either use their preferred communication channel, or I will use Teams, because Teams comes with Office 365.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's fair. I have purchased Zoom, but that's because for me, we do webinars and things like that. And you can do webinars on Teams, but it's a bit clunky.
Yeah.
Zoom is just a bit more advanced in that capability, that technical space. So that's why I've purchased Zoom. But it wasn't an instant thing. I didn't have it from day one. That was a deliberate decision. This is what I'm going to spend the money on for marketing purposes, in terms of getting a name out there and stuff like that. So that was a deliberate thing from me.
Definitely. I think also something that's really good practice, and I even do this in my personal life, is I constantly review my debit orders to see, okay, is this still relevant for my business? Is it still, do we still need this, or can we look at alternatives where maybe we pay in every 3 months, or an annual fee, because you can sometimes save. So I know with Canva, I chose to do the annual because I got like 2 months in addition, or free.
Yeah.
So I was only paying for 10 months. So there are options like that you can do. But I think,
you've just got to be smart, haven't you? You've just got to be really smart about where you're spending your money and what's going to help the business.
Yes. And in those, beginning months, or even at the beginning year, just looking at the debit orders, not getting caught up by the shiny things, because naturally you do. You think, oh my goodness, I need the latest tech.
I mean, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I definitely see something shiny and I'm like, oh,
I'll just go there, and I think so. Yeah, being very clear on what you really need. It's what versus a need and a want.
Yes.
There's a lot of things I want.
Yeah.
Do I need all of it? No.
Yeah.
And also utilizing friends and family.
Yes.
So utilizing your friends and family to help you with creating some of the content, to reviewing some of your content. I know for both of us, we've got sisters who are big into like words and reading and really great at proofreading. So we sent everything to them to say, check for spelling mistakes and grammatical errors, and does it flow right, etc.
Yeah.
So I think, and also utilizing, friends and family that maybe they, I don't know, specialize in an area that you think, oh, I could tap into your knowledge. Can you give me some information?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just friends and family. Use your network as well.
Yeah.
There's no shame in asking someone who you know professionally, do you have anyone you can introduce me to?
Of course.
At the beginning, like I said, we put £1,000 into the business. That wasn't enough to go and get a lead gen company or anything like that.
No.
So, but everyone starts from where we start from.
Yeah.
So going to your professional network and saying, if there's anyone you can introduce me to, I'd really appreciate it. Even if it just makes your network bigger, that's a benefit.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really helpful.
Definitely. Couldn't agree more. I think even on LinkedIn, you know what I mean? Or, if you're part of like a free group that you could put your question in and say, what do you think? Or, in all honesty, chat is fabulous. Chat for me, I predominantly use chat as a search engine to just help me think through some of the things and to give me some, access to some information that I maybe just don't have at that minute.
Yeah. And again, there's a free version and a paid for version.
I'm on the free.
I'm on the free version.
Yeah.
But that is a really time efficient way of doing things, because at the beginning, when you're bootstrapping and you've only put £1,000 in, you have to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
So you're creating all the content, you're designing all the marketing, you're doing everything.
You're doing the sales, you're doing the outreach, you are doing the discovery calls.
Yeah. And yes, we didn't spend a lot of money, but we spent an awful lot of time. That's where we invested in the business. And so using AI or whatever tools are available to you to save you a little bit of time, save you a bit of brain space so that you don't, burn out and completely miss your weekend.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
And there are so many free versions or free apps out there that can really just help you to be more effective as well.
Yeah.
And I think just utilize them.
Yeah.
I think it's whatever's going to make your business a success that's what's going to help you. You know what I mean? And you don't, I would say that I had a total misconception before I started this business. I thought I needed a huge bank balance. And we are living results that that's actually not the case.
No.
You just have to be really disciplined with your money. You have to be, really disciplined in your thinking on and ruthless. Like, if that's actually not going to help me in the business and it's not going to give me what I need, that's got to go.
Yeah. And there's still things you can do when you're scaling. So there are options available to you. So you don't have to necessarily grow your team by getting full-time permanent employees in.
We are huge advocates for outsourcing.
Yes, because companies outsource to us. Yeah. So of course, why wouldn't we do that? But that's how I've grown my team.
Yeah.
Is through fractional support when I need support, but I haven't got the funds to pay someone on a monthly basis, or using apprentices. I've just taken on board an apprentice so that they can learn and grow throughout their career journey and still add some value and support to my organisation. So there are lots you can do to scale and still save money.
Yes.
You've just got to be smart.
Yes.
The only thing I do want to talk about, because this is particularly difficult for me, as you know, is you have to be disciplined with your finances.
Yes.
In terms of tax and VAT.
Yes.
So I know I get a notification on my phone, you've been paid, and I'm like, ching!
It's not all your money.
20% does not belong to me.
20% needs to go in a different little pocket on your bank. Yeah. And there's also corporation tax.
Yeah. And that's another reason why, and I know you were the same, it was really important for us to have an accountant, because I knew about VAT.
Of course.
But I had no idea how much you have to put aside for corporation tax and stuff. So being able to divvy it up and put it in different buckets and then be like, okay, so this is what I'm left with.
Yes.
Now how can I work with that? It just makes cash flow and managing finances so much easier.
Because you hear of horror stories where they get to, their first year in and they are being hit with huge corporation tax bills, and that can sink your business. Yeah. So being, like you say, very disciplined. I mean, our previous guest told us we'll wish death came before, we messed with the tax man. So yes, being very disciplined, being very selective on what you spend your money on in the beginning, I think will set you up for huge success in terms of that scaling, in terms of that longevity. So I think if that's what you take from this episode, is it's very possible to bootstrap your business with £1,000 and to have the bare minimum, and using free versions and utilizing friends and family in your network. And
no, it's not forever.
No.
We've already upgraded our tech. We've already upgraded so much.
Yeah.
And we haven't got ourselves in debt. We haven't got ourselves in a funding issue. And we've paid our tax and our VAT and all that, because that quarter comes around very quickly.
Very quickly. That quarter's coming close to me. You know what I mean?
But you do also have to be disciplined with your clients. You have to make sure that they pay you on time.
Yes.
Because cash flow is, they talk about they talk about cash is king, but cash flow is, you need to be able to bring in what's going out.
One of startups I work with, he says he runs it lean, and he said, I don't buy things if I don't have the money. And it's just that simple. He said, I'm not willing to get myself into debt. It's really important that I scale, but I scale for that long-term progression. Because you can, we're building businesses that are here for the future, not for a short-term period. So I know we're very selective on the things that we do, and it's very possible. So
and hopefully a few series from now, we'll be telling you how much we can spend.
Yes, wouldn't that be the dream? But like you say, I think I'm 8 months in, and there's already things that I can see that I've progressed in, and that's such an awesome feeling. And I think that's also something that's nice, is that it gives you such a satisfaction when you get to upgrade your tech or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
So perfect. Okay. I think that concludes episode 5, which has been...
Does, yeah. And I think there's a lot of information there, and there's a lot of good tips and stuff like that. So if there's anything that you would like us to expand on further, put it in the comments, because we could talk about this again, because I think it is really important.
Yes.
Because there is such a misconception that you need millions.
And I think it helps clear it up if someone's just in that thinking phase at the moment and thinking, oh my goodness, I would love to do this, but I just don't see how.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, thank you so much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.